Back in the day, Hollywood was known for its classy style and great acting by icons that would last for hundreds of years. But there is a dirty secret behind all the glitz and glamour. This business isn't for the faint of heart, and people who had a hard time dealing with the good or bad effects of fame ended up looking at the bottom of their glass. Today, we're going to show you a list of the 13 worst drinkers in Hollywood history. Some of them even give in to it in the worst way possible, which will surprise you. If you want to know who these people are, you should watch more. The English actor Oliver Reed starts off today's list. This handsome guy with blue eyes became famous in hit movies like The Trap, Bill Sikes, and Oliver. For how well he played his parts, he was named the 5th most famous movie star in 1971. He had a lot of charm on screen. It's easy to see why he was one of the most famous actors from the late 1960s to the 1980s. He was dedicated, strong, and powerful. Because he was famous, everyone saw everything the star did. That's why it's not a secret that he was a heavy drinker. In his book Hellraisers, The Life and Drunken Times of Richard Burton, Peter O'Toole, Richard Harris, and Oliver Reed, English author Robert Sellers wrote about these people, what the actor did to drink 100 pints in just 24 hours. The author says that these 4 players were known as the worst troublemakers who ever walked, stumbled, or fell into a pub. This shows how much Reed and his co-workers liked drinking. Getting drunk may have been fun for him, but it was also what killed the star. Oliver Reed spent his free time at an Irish bar in Valletta, Malta, during a break from filming Ridley Scott's Gladiator in 1999. He drank an alarmingly large amount of alcohol, including half a bottle of whiskey, 12 shots of rum, 8 pints of lager, and a couple of cognacs to wash it all down. Soon after, he got into a bar fight with 5 young Navy soldiers. They ended the fight by arm wrestling. Reed didn't make it to the next day, though, because he passed out that night. He was taken to the hospital right away in an ambulance, but he was declared dead before his friend could get there, even though they were trying to revive him. Oliver Reed won a BAFTA for Best Supporting Actor after his death for his part as Antonius Proximo in Gladiator. And you can't leave out the name of the Australian actor Errol Flynn when talking about the cool, stylish, and adventuresome stars of old Hollywood. His charm was great, but he also fell for Hollywood's bad habits. It could be drinking, people, drugs, anything. Flynn's drinking has been a big part of his social life because it gave him the courage to make friends, date, and go on dangerous trips. When we talk about adventures, he was also known for getting into fights in bars. Indeed, he did steal a police officer's badge one time. John Barrymore, Ava Gardner, David Niven, Humphrey Bogart, and even Frank Sinatra are some of the famous people he drinks with. People knew how much he liked champagne, and he would even bring French wines with him when they went somewhere that didn't have any high-end liquor shops. In the last few years of his life, vodka became his favorite poison. He would drink a whole bottle of it every day, which was bad for his body. That didn't stop the man from drinking it, and he even went so far as to put vodka in his oranges when he wasn't allowed to drink on set. Using booze hurt his health in the same way that other bad habits do. Not long after, his once gorgeous face, which made many people jealous, swelled up. He passed away on October 14, 1959, from a heart attack. He was 50 years old. The doctors who did his autopsy were shocked that he lived that long because he was such a heavy drinker and abused his body with many drugs. The actor John Barrymore was another famous person who got drunk. In fact, he and his brothers were both drunk. Not many people know who this former big star is, but most would recognize him as the drunk actor who has lost it all. Even though he was only young, his life was already a hot topic. He grew up with an alcoholic father who liked spending time with his grandma. He used to drink from his grandmother's guests' half-empty wine glasses until he passed out when he was still a child. If anything, his drinking got worse after his grandma died when he was 14. That's when young Barrymore told the doctor that he was basically an alcoholic drunk. Even so, many people praised his playing skills, and he was very good at light comedy and different kinds of plays. In one story, he did Hamlet's soliloquy while sitting down and completely drunk, which made people think it was a very creative way to do it. However, The actor later admitted that he couldn't stand because he was so drunk, which is why he was sitting down. In his later years, he became so dependent on booze that companies would not hire him, and he even got parts as drunk people, like in his last movie, Playmates, which came out in 1941. He died on May 19, 1942, while recording lines for Romeo and Juliet. The once great performer passed out and had to be taken to Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital, but he died there because of pneumonia and cirrhosis of the liver. Rita Hayworth, an American actor who was one of the biggest stars of the golden age of Hollywood, is also on today's list of the worst alcoholics. Like many of the other stars on this list, she went through a lot of pain behind the scenes. She had to learn how to dance when she was very young, and it caught the attention of Winfield Sheehan, the head of Fox Film Corporation. After that, she got a few small parts and worked her way up, but not without paying a price. She could only play the glamorous dancer because her family was from Spain. After some thought, she finally gave in and changed how she looked. She darkened her hair and got electrolysis, which made her look more American. In Hollywood, Rita Hayworth had a great career. The press even called her the love goddess, and she was the most popular pin-up girl during World War II. It's funny that she has the worst love life because she's been with men who only want to control her or use her. No matter how famous the actress was, she didn't have anyone she could talk to, and even though she tried to fit in, she was misunderstood in many ways. Orson Welles, her second husband, knew that she had a drinking problem while they were married, but he didn't think it was real. She thought otherwise though, and her son Yasmin Aga Khan could only watch helplessly as his mother drank herself to death. Things got so bad that she had an alcohol-related breakdown that sent her to the hospital. Woohoo! Also, it was because she was drinking that they found out too late that Rita Hayworth had Alzheimer's disease signs. Before the news reported on it, her son thought she had just alcoholic dementia. That's when she was identified with Alzheimer's in 1980. The poor actress had to go through 20 years of hell before doctors could figure out what was wrong with her. But Hayworth died in the end at the age of 68 from problems related to Alzheimer's disease. To add to the list of drinkers, the Welsh actor Richard Burton is a known troublemaker. In the 1950s, he became famous as one of the best Shakespearean players, and many people thought he would take over for Laurence Olivier. Sadly, he wasn't able to live up to their hopes, and the fact that Burton was known for drinking a lot didn't help. Many people thought that his drinking was the reason why his ability was wasted. It was no secret that the Welsh actor drank a lot as an adult. In fact, English author Robert Sellers said Burton was known to drink at least 3 to 4 bottles of hard booze every day. During the making of the movie The Klansman, the actor almost drank himself to death. Montgomery Clift died of a heart attack in his New York City town when he was 45 years old. A lot of people thought that his drug use was a factor in his death. After his death, an autopsy showed that the star also had dysentery, colitis that wouldn't go away, and a thyroid that wasn't working properly. Even though she was famous and rich, Judy Garland, who played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, also sadly struggled with drinking and drug abuse. Garland had problems in her personal life when she was young, just like a lot of young stars do. It didn't help that the stresses of being famous were bad for her physical and mental health either. Even worse, many people in the business took advantage of her by telling her she wasn't pretty enough and making her change how she looked. This is why Garland turned to drink and other drugs, and the stress kept coming back to haunt her for years. Her husband of 3 months, Mickey Deans, found her asleep and not responding in the evening of June 22, 1969. Right away, he called Scotland Yard, and the star was found dead from an accidental overdose of barbiturates. She was only 47 years old. Even so, the experts said that the actress was already living on borrowed time because of cirrhosis. Jack Cassidy was another great actor who died a terrible death because he was drunk. Cassidy was a great singer and theatre director. He got a lot of awards, including a Tony Award and a Grammy Award, and was even nominated for a Primetime Emmy more than once. Artists often have a hard time with life, and Cassidy did too, despite all the things he has done and owned. His oldest son even wrote that he was worried about his father's growing drinking problem. since Jack Cassidy had both alcoholism and bipolar illness. Unfortunately, the man with many skills died late one night on December 11th, 1976. Before he died, Cassidy even asked his ex-wife Shirley if she would like to have a drink with him at his apartment in California. Shirley said no, not realizing that it would be the last time she would be able to talk to him. The next morning, the star lit up a cigarette and quickly passed out on his couch. When he dropped the cigarette, it caught fire on the couch and quickly spread to the rest of the room. After the fire was out, they found Cassidy's burned body near the apartment's front door. His teeth records helped them figure out who it was. They also found a ring on the body that had the Cassidy family name on it. In the end, Jack Cassidy's family burned his body and spread the pieces in the Pacific Ocean. Another American actor who died was Gail Russell, who was drunk. This is a bad way for the drunk Lamar of Santa Monica to go. She was so beautiful that Paramount signed her to a contract when she was only 18. The next year, she made her acting debut in the movie Henry Aldrich Gets Glamour. The head of makeup on the set of The Uninvited told the young actor that she should drink alcohol to calm down. That was her first time drinking alcohol. It worked its magic, but it also marked the beginning of Russell's slow death. She had a lot of stress as well. That's why it wasn't a surprise that she was a known drinker by 1950. She met our author when she was only 36 years old. Right before that, she would stop drinking and then start drinking again. Russell died of liver damage caused by both short-term and long-term alcoholism. Her body was found by two worried neighbors who hadn't seen the actor in a few days. She was found with a vodka bottle that was empty next to her. Her house was also full of empty bottles, and Marie Prevost, one of the bathing beauties, had to be included if we were going to talk about an icon who died a sad and terrible death because she was drunk. The actress became famous during the silent film era and was in 121 films, both silent and sound. Jack Sennett was the first person to notice this beauty and sign her to Universal. That being said, Warner Bros. Was where Prevost's success as a leading lady really took off. She was known for her roles in Kiss Me Again, The Marriage Circle, and Three Women, but sadly after Warner Bros. Dropped her, her career went downhill very quickly. Not only that, but she also had a lot of problems in her personal life, like her mother dying and her marriage to actor Kenneth Harlan falling apart. Prevost got depressed and began to binge eat and drink too much, which made her gain weight and make it harder for her to get more jobs. She died because she drank too much in the end. A severe drinking killed her on January 21, 1937, when she was 40 years old. She died poor and her fortune was only worth $300. However, her death led to the creation of the motion picture and television Country House in Hospital. Jack Gleason, an American actor and comedian known as the Great One, is the last person on today's list. The man also loved being in the spotlight in the music business and was a great writer and musician. To someone who is known for being so happy, though, his sad past might never come up. His father left him and his older brother died when he was young. The star never tried to hide his love of drinking. He even said one time that he's not an alcoholic but a drunkard. It should have been enough to fire him because he liked drinking and even showed up on stage very drunk. But Gleason was still there. Because he was drunk, his skills were too good to be thrown out. Many people in the music and acting businesses heard that he was a drunk person because of this. As the years went by, his drinking got worse and he became mean, grumpy, and almost ready to jump anyone who annoyed him. He did well in both fields until he died on June 24, 1987, at the age of 71, after having many health problems. But stomach cancer was found to be the real cause. Finally, this is the end of our movie about the 13 worst alcoholics in Hollywood history. If you like this video, please click the like and subscribe button with the bell on top. That way you'll never miss one of our new videos. Stay golden until then.